Does UPSC syllabus looks gigantic, infinite and never ending to you? A basic foundation तो कर लिया है पर don't know how to consolidate it. मार्केट में यार इतना irrelevant मटेरियल है, इतनी इंफॉर्मेशन है, 500 प्लस पेजेस का मटेरियल एक सिंगल वन पेजर टॉपिक के लिए है, तो यू डोंट नो हाउ टू फिल्टर देम आउट. And you are someone who has been stuck in 360 to 380 GS main score range, and you want someone who is genuine, trusted and has credibility. We at Nurturing for UPSC seeks to empower, equip and nurture you to transfer you from a mere aspirant to a rank chaser. I, Nikhil Joshi, and my friend Naman Bansal, we both have a credible and long-standing history in UPSC as an aspirant, as a rank chaser, and as well as a mentor. I myself have appeared for 3 UPSC interviews and cleared prelims for more than 5 times, including 3 IFOS mains. I also have scored like 120 plus marks in multiple occasions in prelims and 400 plus marks in GS at number of occasions. Similarly, my friend and my dearest colleague Naman has also scored 400 plus marks in GS at multiple attempts and has also scored excellent marks in prelims in around 4 to 5 occasions. We both at Nurturing for UPSC have come up with solutions to actually equip you and enable you to score 400 plus marks in GS by way of our approach of personalized nurturing and making you scorers, not the scholars. It is done via two things, which is one of which is SIP program and another is laws program. They both complement each other and they both go hand in hand. While talking about the law and SIP, the SIP, which is Selection, Interlinkages and Placement program, is an evolutionary and learning based approach. It focuses on thinking rather than rote learning. And the thinking is included by way of Pareto optimized topic identification, which are actually PYQ based. I will show you demo on how Pareto optimized sheets work, and you will be amazed to know that how powerful they are. And in addition to that, there would be last minute recall notes. So if let's say there is a topic of Naxalism which only has 1 page to 2 page note required, but majority of the market material actually has greater than 50 to 60 pages of notes for it. A candidate how is then confused on how to revise those 50-60 pager notes when only a 15 marker question or a 10 marker question actually comes from it. And in addition to this Pareto optimized PYQ topic sheets and the last minute recall notes, there would be news enrichment to have your notes a relevance, a contemporary relevance, and also a value addition via such thing. And also, there would be some questions where you would need to utilize your ready-made contents, your ready-made templates, your ready-made background knowledge to vomit and cook a certain answers to ensure that you are writing a decent answer for such bouncer questions. So handling of such bouncer questions is pretty much necessary to score 400 plus marks, and such skill is very underrated, and that is being discussed and taught in this course. So the deliverables of SIPR, we are covering GS 123 comprehensively here. It would be a one-stop solution and you would not need to look anything apart from it. The content selection from basic books is discussed via topic identification and via Pareto optimized sheets. In addition to that, there would be last minute recall notes, which will be half page, 1 page or 2 page, and they would provide you as a ready-made consolidated one-stop solution for revision. However, they are not a substitute to your notes. We encourage you to make your own notes, and sufficient opportunity for that and sufficient guidance for that is provided in the course as well. Similarly, via NICE, which is current and news integration, the static is linked with the current affairs. Now that you have identified topics, you know what sort of content you need to write. Now what you need to do is you need to do some answer writing, and such answer writing is actually envisaged in the laws program. The laws has four levels of answer writing, whereby in the first level we would talk about demand identification. The major concern with people who are stuck in 360 to 380 is they do complete the paper, they do write everything, but they don't write what is being asked. So what is being asked is actually the demand, and which is often being missed by majority of the candidates. And for that demand identification, you need to know what type of subtopics sub are being asked or are being envisaged in the syllabus. So this goes hand in hand with our PO topics and syllabus identification, and they together ensure that you are well placed to identify the demand and be in zone to answer that question from the perspective from which it is being asked. And then after this, you would need to write certain arguments. So an answer is a collection of arguments. What people write is people write very poor arguments, and they would say that just I have written the answer, but UPSC has been unfair in rewarding marks. I would say UPSC is not unfair in rewarding marks if you write good arguments, and these arguments should be substantiated, they should be augmented, they should be readily illustrated, exemplified. There should be diagrams, maps, schematics to actually ensure that you are justifying whatever you are writing. And the fourth step would be of value enrichment, whereby you would have a certain ready-made disposable value enrichment points so that your answer gets differentiated. So it actually is a complementary program to the SIPs, whereby you would not only be preparing and learning certain type of content, but also using and applying them in real time. And first time in the UPSC history, there would be face to face checking by me and my colleague mentor, both of whom have extensive experience and credibility and background as well. Similarly, there would be 14 answer writing sessions to show that how laws actually work, what sort of value addition that you can do, how arguments are to be written in a particular type of question. So to be precise, people write question from society and social justice in the same manner. However, if a question on transgender comes in GS1 society, it needs different set of arguments, and question if the same comes in GS2 social justice, then different set of arguments come in. So such kind of arguments writing is need to be learned, it need to be understood, it need to be applied again and again. So that skill is being taught here. Similarly, to handle bouncer questions, to handle cooking, we are providing you with the templates for majority of the subjects. So what happens that if let's say there is a history introduction can only be written in 5 to 6 types. So if you know what 5 6 types are those, you won't waste your time in thinking about what introduction can be. And such thinking actually saves you 10 seconds, and 10 seconds in 20 questions would mean that you are saving 200 question seconds, which itself is a 3.5 minute. So 3.5 minute is a half answer. I hope you are getting where I am getting. And in addition to that, there would be news placement via nice, and then there would be presentation and beautification via space management, via the aesthetics of answer copy which are there, and they are driven by the experience and driven by the real time application of them by us in the exam. Now, to talk about the topic identification, let me give you a brief idea about what it is. So, there is a question on there is a syllabus topic about distribution of resources in GS1. What people do is people tend to study the distribution of various, say iron, say oil, say gas, say nuclear power, let's say another. So there can be at least uh, 15 such places, 15 such resources of whose distribution can be studied. However, a smart candidate and the one who has gone through Pareto optimized PYQ sheets would know that rather than asking what is the distribution, question is on why such distribution is and what is the impact of such unequal distribution of resources. And in addition to that, you cannot just prepare 15 such resources and then go into exam and write them, because there is a paucity of time, there is a limitation of revision, and for that you need to be smart, you need to have identified topics from which there is a probability. So the soil, the biotic resources in terms of forest, wildlife, vegetation. So biotic resource in terms of forest and their distribution has been asked multiple times in the GS1. And what people do is people tend to say that the question was random, the question does not came from any syllabus topic, which is wrong. Similarly, there is a potentiality of certain topics as well, like let's say soil. So land degradation, neutrality, soil pollution issues, soil salinization issues, such topics need to be prepared. And such, so what themes would be there, what aspects needed to be prepared, and what is this deciphering of main syllabus is one of the major focus of our SIP program. This deciphering would help you in preparing notes, it helps you in actually having contours of your syllabus decide. Similarly, they do ask about various phenomena. Let's say mountain building, about the monsoons, about the heat waves. So here, if you can have like half page and notes on what the scientific explanation is, what the processes are in terms of natural and anthropogenic, maybe a diagram or two there, and the most important locational analysis for them, and what is their disaster potential and how to manage. So, for such topics, if I would have told you to prepare this and have a one pager notes, you would be equipped, you would be capable, you would be able to score greater than 70% marks if such questions come in the exam. And such 70% marker questions would actually enable you to score 400 plus, because not every question you can score and go 70%, but there must be some questions, some Pareto optimized questions which you know well, which from of which you have detailed scientific explanation, of which you know processes, of which you know diagrams, of which you know case studies, of which you know maps. And if you write those questions, then you are guaranteed to score top 1 percentile marks in that question, in that paper. I hope I am making sense to you. Our approach of segregating questions based on few questions which are important, few questions which are more doable, and few questions which are bouncer. Such segregation helps you in maximizing your potential, maximizing your time, maximizing your space while attempting the paper and fetching the extra marks. To give you an idea about the Pareto optimized PYQ sheets, so we have categorize these syllabus topics and how the PYQ are reflected from that topic. So if let's say they do ask about globalization, so globalization and cultural diversity, globalization and diversity and pluralism, globalization as a threat to global identity, globalization as a local identity. So such theme is relevant. So you would know that while preparing notes, you must score, you must prepare globalization and culture as a theme. Similarly, the question on regionalism, regionalism as a consequences of five things is already asked, which is the cultural assertiveness, which is the regionalism and the regional backwardness, the economic backwardness, the relative deprivation. So if you are smart enough, you would know that backwardness, relative deprivation, and regionalism, they go hand in hand. So if let's say there is a question on geography about the backwardness, you would be able to interlink this there. And also, if you are preparing notes on regionalism, you would know that these dimensions must be there in notes, and you need someone to know that these are the dimensions. And such focus, such emphasis is actually very much relevant because you are using PYQs as a resource. So something which is most relevant for the exam, which are PYQs, and such PYQs are actually utilized. Such PYQs are actually leveraged by you for not only generating content but also generating dimensions, generating various aspects, and ensuring that you are ready with out of box thinking for that topic. Regarding the LMR routes, consider this example of LMR notes of Naxalism. We have also shared this on our channel on Nurturing for UPSC on Telegram. But you can say that the entire Naxalism is covered only in one page. And I don't think anything apart from that is actually needed and actually necessary. So I have also included the data. We have also included different committees. We have also included what sort of answer structure must be there. So land, forest, economy and society, the poverty, unemployment, development related factors, and the miscellaneous governance related factor. So if you know this framework, you would be generating such points in another aspects as well, which are of insurgency related, which are of extremism related, and such framework and such elucidation would ensure that you have readily recallable notes. Similarly, the strategies which are here, they are given in very crisp but yet very enriched manner. So, a detailed integrated action plan which includes DM, SP, and DFO. So, here you would know that even though such point seems very trivial, but most of you wouldn't be writing it. Similarly, the recommendations of OP Chaudhary committee, the Black Panthers, or the winning hearts and minds strategy, or let's say Samadhan, such kind of things, you need to have them on your tips to answer a question which is of Naxalism and which is very simple. However, if you have them on your tips, you would save your time and you would maximize your marks, which is our central theme and which is what is needed for the exam. While talking about the maps and schematics, such readily utilizable schematics would also be provided. So if let's say there is syllabus subtopic on interlinkages between organized crime and the terrorism. So such schematic you can draw in the question on terrorism, on the question of organized crime, in the question of narco terrorism, in the question of arms trade, everywhere. Here I have detailed you how organized crime is actually characterized, how it provides support to the terrorism, what symbiotic relationship exists in there, and what are forms of terrorism. I think this is a complete schematic, and you wouldn't be needing anything else apart from that to show the symbiotic relationship between them. And now, if you are an aspirant, you yourself can decide if this schematic is sufficient or not. Doesn't it make a good impression on you? Doesn't it look excellent? Doesn't it convey the message excellently? And if you are the examiner, wouldn't you like mind giving half or 1 mark extra? Entire our approach is earning this half and 1 mark extra. Moving forward, you would be provided with a list of case studies as well. So let's say there is a question on Microsoft and Matey working on a project goal uh, in Eklavya model schools. So such case study can be used in PPP model, in role of technology in development, in tribal development, in human development, even in the question which is discussed about Naxalism. So how Naxalism can be, so you may write that PPP model and actually focusing on the skilling and empowerment, Naxalism can be handled. Similarly, such question on such regional map-based case studies whereby about the role of women ASHA workers in women empowerment, about their role in demographic and population, health in terms of reduced anemia, togetherness and social capital. So such readily utilizable, readily cross-utilizable case studies would also be provided, and they would our sessions would equip you to write them everywhere. While talking about the maps, a very pertinent map is this of marine environmental issues. So such map whereby I have given you the locational aspects of environmental issues in the marine sphere. So such map you can reproduce in questions around blue economy, in questions around marine resources, in question around marine pollution, in question around environmental issues, in question around hydrosphere. If say there is a question on 30 cross 30, if say there is a question on high seas, even in those areas such readily utilizable map can be reproduced, and you yourself would know the vastity and the utility of such maps, and they would, I'm guaranteeing you, they would fetch you 1.5 mark extra for you. And our attempt is to equip you, to empower you, to nurture you to draw and be capable of drawing such maps in the exam. And when you are done with such preparation, such topics, such uh, capability development, then there would be uh, mini tests in laws about the PYQ and topic identification based themes. You will be having face to face evaluation, which is live evaluation, that too from the chief mentors, which is me and my friend Naman. We both have very long standing and excellent feedback system, as we both have scored 400 plus in GS, and we have been helping aspirants throughout our journey, and they do speak highly about ourselves as well. Since the both of the courses are launched, I would like to talk a bit about the wonderful scheduling that we try to arrive at. So, firstly, the SIP and laws do actually go hand in hand, whereby there would be history sessions first, whereby you would identify certain topics. There would be Pareto optimized sheets for you, and then you would do the LMR notes formation. We would provide you with some LMR, and then you will do some news enrichment and current enhancement. And if you are done with this thing, you would be equipped and capable to write certain tests. Before writing test, you would have a last session whereby we would talk you about the skill of answer writing, how to write arguments, how to focus on factors like enrichment, placement, and then you would be writing the test. And then this test would be face to face evaluated with you by us. Then we would move to next subject. Here again, same cycle whereby we are discussing the Pareto optimized topics and the topic identification. Then there would be creation and discussion of LMR notes, and then there will be nice, and then there would be a session on four laws of that topic, and there would be test, and then would be face to face evaluation. So it is a consolidation based schedule. It is a complementary based schedule, and this schedule is actually for rank chasers who would have a ready-made notes, who would know how to write answers, and who are willing to evolve themselves from mere an aspirant to someone who is a scorer. Currently the program is run, and we have been getting excellent response from that, and we are running a Diwali offer right now as well. There are also excellent discounts applicable to the old students, to the mains appear students, and to the interview and selected students as well. I hope our journey together would be really fruitful, and I and my friend Naman, both of us want you to be the IAS and get into that holy PDF and serve our nation well and make us proud. For any query, drop us at NFU underscore official on Telegram, or there is this phone number 9896778539. Till then, all the best, and of course, Jai Hind.